Nah, can we talk about how Ren checked Nana shit for real? And I'm glad he did. So this is about, if you haven't read the manga, this is about basically when she ended up getting arrested. And I took a screenshot of this panel because it really did show, like, you know, first of all, the label, they wasn't looking after Sheen. They was just letting him drink and smoke. Also showing that even when Sheen was saying, like, you know, this grown woman, she taught me everything I knew, and she's a pervert, and she like pretty little boys. Again, like I said, Sheen fell through the cracks, sadly, and not enough people really even cared about him. But anyway, point of the matter is, I just loved how Ren checked Nana's shit. Because of Sheen got arrested, he got arrested like literally, the night before, the day of, they had a big concert, and they're about to go on tour. And so everything was like, the press was like, oh, okay, well, like, shoot, are we going to put the whole tour on hold? Are we going to cancel the tour? Are we going to cancel the concert? And then Nobu girlfriend was like, oh, I mean, or you could just ask Ren. And I just thought Nana was going to shut that shit down because she never want to be asking that man for nothing. She, you know, want to do her stuff solely on her and this, that, and the third. But she pulled up that phone so fast and she said, I'm calling my man. And even Noble was surprised. He said, girl, where's your pride? She's talking about, I threw that out a long time ago. No, you didn't throw that out a long time ago. Not for real. But it's just like, I didn't like that because it's like, most of the time you don't even be wanting to talk to Ren. And then as soon as it comes to something like this, oh, you calling him up. Like, I don't know. She just be so hot and cold with stuff. I'll be like, And then it came out that, oh, okay, they finna cancel that tour. And I was like, damn, canceling the whole tour is crazy. But basically, Sheen, he got caught in that room with that older woman. And they were gardening. I'll just say that they was gardening. And so they got arrested for that. But I didn't like how Nana was talking about, oh, like, you know, I don't need that idiot in our band and this, that, and the third. He was like, he's an idiot. Like, that's your bandmate. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, but he an idiot if he doing stuff like that. And it's just like, huh? Like, these are supposed to be like your family, low-key. You feel me? Like, it ain't just like she a random dude off the street. And that's why I was like, I'm glad that Ren said this. Like, he was like, why would I want to play with somebody like you? One minute, you know, they cool whenever things going your way, and the next minute they an idiot as soon as things not going your way. Like, no, that's not cute. And she felt so hurt, but he said click. But I love that because it's like, who else gonna put down in a check for real? Yasu don't really be doing it for me because he be coddling her, and I don't like that. Everybody else scared of her because she hot and cold. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't like that. Like, girl. And then I like when she tried to run to Yasu because, of course, she didn't want to go back to Ren's place, run at her place. So she was like, you know, I'm going to go run to Yasu. At this point, Yasu got a girlfriend. So what you trying to do? And so I'm glad when she did this, he got her off of him, okay, and was like, look, the president got to talk to you. And she was looking so stupid. Well, she was really looking like a hurt little girl. But the point of the matter is still low-key a little stupid because I'm like, didn't like the last time that happened, you told him to stop, like, coddling you, stop, you know, creeping into your heart if you don't want to betray Ren. Okay, then. So, stop, like he said, stop crying in front of me. And you're not going to like how it feel when I don't indulge. But it is what it is. And that's why I'm glad he kept his word with that. Because you can't have it both ways, Nana. You feel me? And it reminded me of like when Ren was sitting across from her before he left for something. I forget. I think it was either for England or something. London, maybe. I don't know. Point of the matter is, he was like, what would make you happy, Nana? Like, he was like, what? If I quit Trap Nest, if Yasu didn't have a girlfriend, if Nana broke up with Takumi, like, is having all of that, would that make you happy? Like, it just seemed like nothing gonna really make you happy for real. It seemed like for you to be happy, everybody else shouldn't. Because none of us could really have you. I mean, unless she trying to do a big old throuple. Have her, have Yasu, have Ren, have Nanake. Like, what you trying to do? You can't have it your way. This is not BK. Like, straight up. Like sometimes, like, Nana be like a little child. Like a selfish little child that when she don't get her way, now she can't breathe. Now she acting like Jordan Sparks. Can't breathe, no air. Like, girl, no. See, no, that's not how it's gonna go. Like, these are grown people. They all have their own wants and needs and this, that, and third. And you already made your choice. If you're not going to be with Ren, don't be with Ren then. Okay? Even though I know it ain't healthy. Honestly, quite frankly, he on the edge, you on the edge. I don't know. But you can't have it. You can't just have Yasu in your back pocket. You can't have Nana K in your back pocket. You need to choose who you finna be with and call it a day. Straight up. Honestly, quite frankly, I feel like if she would have just got with Nana K, I feel like she would be fine. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm talking about before all this Takumi stuff, because I kind of feel like once stuff happens, she be looking at people like they tainted low-key. Like, it's never the same. You feel me? But it's just like, I feel like she would have been cool with Nana K. Like, if they would have got together a long time ago before her and Ren rekindled, I feel like she would have been cool with being with Nana K. Not gonna lie to you. I feel like she would have just been, but also at the same time, she still would have want Yasu in her little corner. I really do feel like that. Like, she just never gonna be satisfied. Like, she looks at all these people as like hers. You get me? Like, her possessions in a way. She wants all of them in her backyard. She doesn't want them going with anybody else other than her, you know? And it's like, okay, well, that's not realistic, Nana. So figure it out for real. But anyway, I just liked how he checked her, because it's like how he said, and he was with Rayra, and like how he said, he was just like, I'm tired of catering to her. Like, for real. Let's be real. Because at the end of the day, like, what are we doing? You know, either we're going to be together or we're not going to be together. Figure it out. Because whatever we need to do, we need to do it happily. Like, okay, cool. You're happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. If we're not happy to be here, it's like a struggle to be with you. Like, at this point, Ren, he seemed like he with her. Like, yes, there's love there, but it seemed like he with her so that Yasu don't get her. At this damn point. And it's like, y'all both going to be unhappy. If that's the case, you see that she's not really her happiest. And obviously, like, I'm like, Ren, you can't be happy dealing with this. And he's not innocent either. But I'm just saying, you can't still be that happy, because it ain't looking good. Like, yeah, y'all still be doing this and doing that, but come on now. So it's like, I don't know. I just be feeling like sometimes people should be apart. Just be apart, honey. I don't know. So I got to the part in the Nana manga that, like, why would they do that? Because, like, why wouldn't they call the police? Like, oh my god. I'm pissed off right now. And it's crazy because this was spoiled for me a long time ago. Like, I been knew that this was gonna happen. But to see it happen, and then just to see the build up, and the fact that this is not gonna be fully finished is really blowing me right now. Like, bro. And it's like, Nana wasted so much freaking time, bro. Wasting all this freaking time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Trying to figure out, do I want to be with them? Do I not want to be with him? It's too late now. It's too late now. Oh my god. Selling the dude drugs and stuff. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Oh my goodness. It's like we so worried about all this other stuff. There's all this stupid stuff going on, and he was struggling. Why wasn't he in rehab? Like, he should have been in rehab a long time ago. Like, multiple people knew about this. Like, Rayra and Takumi knew about this. Yasu knew about this. Like, why was... because this make me mad. It remind me of, like, how they did Sheen. Like, y'all knew about this stuff, and nothing was being done until it's too late. Oh, my God. This to piss me off. I should have never read this shit. I should have never read it. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that this was... I should have... And I know some people be like, well, it wasn't necessarily that took him out, but he shouldn't have been driving that fast in the first freaking place. And you feel me? Like, he's going through withdrawals, like he wasn't doing well at all. Like, all this led up to that because of this. Like, bro, Takumi chose Nana K because she could give him that family life that he longed for as a child. In the manga, we see how Takumi comes from, like, a broken family. How his mom was sick and he was uncomfortable with her. And then how his dad was a drunk and he hated him. And because of everything going on with the mom and the dad, the older sister kind of became a delinquent and would, like, leave him alone and things like that. So he became disappointed in her, right? And, like, you know, he was upset with that father. Now, eventually, the older sister, you know, became more responsible. She didn't end up going to high school so that she could take care of the both of them. But this is where Takumi's, like, personality really was shaped. Because the mom was sick and because the dad was a drunk, him and his sister was forced on, what did he say? Worrying, making money, managing stuff. What does he do now? That's literally what he does. So if anybody's wondering, like, why is Takumi the way that he is in the sense of, like, controlling this, that, and third, it comes from this, right? Similar to Nana O, where it's like you were forced to be independent very young, right? So with Nana O being abandoned by her mother, you get me, like, even though she had her grandmother, like, forced to be independent, forced to grow up, forced to be an adult very quickly. So now you have to worry, you have to manage, you have to control things, right? You have to make money on your own. Nana O had to do the same thing in high school, having to make money on her own and things like that. That's where these, not all the time, okay, in the real world, but a lot of times, that's where these personalities come from. And also just wanting to control things because you were forced to. And then as you get older, now you have to control things so that you can feel like you have control over your life. Because now as soon as you don't have control of stuff, right, now you don't feel like you have control over your own life, and that can cause a lot of anxiety, all type of stuff. Think about it. In the manga too, whenever Takumi felt like he didn't have control over what was going on with Trapnest, he literally was feeling sick. Like he would come home to Nanake and just walk right past her, get in bed, and just he would feel sick. Like when he feels like, oh shoot, I think I made the wrong move, or I don't know, something's going on with Trapnest. I don't have control right now. Or even when Sheen got arrested and they were hearing what was about to happen with Blast and how they had to cancel the tour, he was literally on the couch talking to me, was like, oh my gosh, I just feel sick to my stomach hearing that. Like, you get me? Because I feel like him even just thinking about that, if that were to happen to Trapnest, that means I would have lost control so bad to where everything crumbles, if that makes sense. Because that falls on him. That's a lot of pressure. So being with Nana and her being pregnant, it would allow him to have the family life that he wanted as a child, because now he's the father, right? And now he doesn't have to be a deadbeat or a drunk and clocked out. He can be present. He can be a provider, right? He's like, I can control that, right? Being faithful to Nana K wasn't in the docket. But in his defense, he's like, I wanted a provider. I wanted somebody who was going to be present, who was going to, just better than my dad. I know I can do that, right? And I put this up here because this is with him and Rayra when they were younger, and he wanted to feel special, right? Like there was a panel where he's with this young girl in the bathroom. I mean, I think they were both in either high school or middle school at the time. And he doing the do. Anyway, point of the matter is she's like, oh, I just, I found you so cool talking to me because you busted windows. And that made me feel good because he was, acting out because his home life wasn't well. And he was busting windows at the school. And he was like, anybody could bust windows. Like, I'm going to do something that nobody else can do. Only I can do. So then when he found out Rayra, she wanted to sing, he was like, okay, I can write songs for you. Like, I can do that. Only me. So, right. So it makes him feel special, makes him feel important. And he's in control of something as well. Only he can do that. And so I feel like it really did show too, even when he was like to Takumi said to Nobu, I'm going to take care of this child no matter if it's yours or mine. Like, again, trying to control that situation, trying to make it something that only he can do. Right. Because it's like, in that sense, it was kind of like, well, he could be the father or I could be the father. Even though we knew it was his because Nobu was safe. But he was just like, but if I'm the father, nobody can care and provide for this child like me. I'm the father. No one can take that away from me. No one can do that like me. Right? So it puts him in another seat of superiority. It puts him in another seat of control. Right? So if anything were to ever happen with Trapnest, he's still a father. You get me? Like, and also even having Nana K, somebody who's completely like dependent on him, right? Even though he'll be like, when she would threaten to leave this, that, and third, he'll be like, okay, whatever, right? But then later on, he'll be like, dang, like, if Nana leave me, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, you feel me? Because again, now he's in another position of power, right? He's in this position to where he can control the family dynamic, right? And he has people depending on him. He can control them as well. You see what I'm trying to say? It's something that only he can do in his eyes. So when I say that Nana K and Takumi have a transactional relationship, Nana, she needs somebody to provide for her, right? Especially in that moment, all hell done broke loose. She found out she was pregnant. Her and Nobu no longer together, this, that, and the third. But now she has somebody who's a provider. He's rich. He's rich. You know, even though, I mean, they already didn't have a good situation in the first place, and she knew that. They know each other very well in the sense that they both know they ain't shit for real, right? So she's like, okay, he accepts me, I accept him. I don't care. Nana K is literally, and she said it in there, she was like, I don't care if you got a million girls, I just need to be number one. So she's very much, he know where home is type girl. So she's very much that. And that's the perfect situation for Talking to Me, because it's like, okay, he can go out and do his dirt. He can go out and do his work. And he's still got somebody to come home to at the end of the day. And he has a family dynamic that he's always wanted and that he can control to his will. And he will go out of his way to make sure he doesn't end up like his father and it doesn't end up the way that his family went. So it's a win-win for both situations, really. Like, of course, you know, if you're looking for love, like actual love, like the guy being in love with you and, you know, hitting you up and texting you and calling you this, that, and third. Yeah, Nana K is missing out on that. Yeah, she is. But she knew who Talking to Me was when she got with him, right? But she's getting, you know, that provider. She's in a luxury apartment or luxury home, whatever the case is. I mean, hey, she's getting a father for her child. So it's a very much transactional relationship. But yeah, that's why Talking to Me chose Nana. Oh, definitely. Nana K and Rayra? Nana K and Rayra, they get a pass because of their aesthetic. Like, everybody thinks that they're super innocent, they're naive, that they can do no wrong because of how they look, okay? And really, they're the fucking problem. Like, Nana K, some people could be like, oh, well, you know, she was groomed as a child, so therefore that's why she does the A, B, and C. Okay, that's a perspective, yes. But then you have Rayra. We ain't see her get groomed. So why was she so excited to sleep with that little boy Sheen? You feel me? Like, she was excited. You feel me? And it's also funny that I think her name's Ryoko. The woman that groomed Sheen looked just like Rayra. Like, come on. Be so for real. I think that's probably one of the things that, you know, attracted Sheen to Rayra. But it's just like, I'm like, that's about to be Rayra in a second. She might not have a whole little, you know, little ring website stuff for little boys and stuff. But she don't need one if she's Rayra. You feel me? If she gonna be doing all that. I'm like, yeah, they just trying to show who Rayra finna be in the future, but in a different way. You feel me? Like, I'm tired of people justifying stuff because I fell in love. It's like, that's a little boy, and you knew that was a little boy. Come on now. And it's funny because they both, you know, wanted Talk Me, and he had both of them. And let's talk about that real quick, because the fact that Talk Me ends up R-wording, let's say R-wording instead of getting with, okay? Because that's something that Talk Me has an issue with. Even in the panel where he was doing stuff with that girl in high school, and she had said, I think she said stop, or she said no, or wait, and he was like, no, ain't no or wait. I know you want this. Like, what is wrong? Honestly, Talk to Me. What demons do you have for real? Like, honestly, why? And just because somebody like you don't mean that in that moment when you're being intimate, and in that moment at that exact time, just because they say no or stop or wait, that it doesn't matter because they like you. Like, no, like, you need to don't stop and wait. The fuck. Anyway, because I'm like, obviously something's wrong. If everybody not everybody, it's just Nana K and Rayra so far that we saw, but everybody up in their mama talking about you're R-wording them. You need to change something. Obviously. But anyway. But yeah, the fact that they had slept together and it backfired, he was straight tripping. Like, the way how he reacted after that, he was just like, oh shoot, like, I don't think I made the right decision. Like, but what I will say is that Rayra was being a little confusing. Just because we know Rayra is in love with Talk Me. He knows that she's in love with him. She agreed to being his mistress. What I think that she meant by that is that, I just want to be with you. Let's take things slow. Let's kind of like, be in love type stuff. But she was wrong as hell. And this is what I'm talking about. Nobody would expect Rayra to be this messy, right? Because of how she looked, but she's messy as hell. Knowing that he got a pregnant wife at home and you've met her before, like, you really don't give a damn. Like, how messy can you freaking be? Like, you go from a little boy to now effing somebody's husband. Like, come on, girl. But anyway, you agree to be his mistress. Like, the self-respect was out the window, but you agree to be his mistress. So I think she just was like, okay, cool. We could finally, like, let her feelings flow and just, kind of like be in love behind the scenes. I don't think she realized what that means to Takumi is that I'm going to pull up and I'm going to do what I want with you. And then I'm going to leave type shit. Because that's what I do to my wife. Yeah, like there was even that one panel when Nana K was getting mad at Takumi and she was like, you don't even be calling me, this, that, and the third, you don't be missing me. He was like, I do miss you, it's just that when I miss you, I just don't be having the energy to call, this, that, and the third. And Ren was like, yeah, Nana, basically when he misses you and he says he wants to see you, it's because he wants to, yeah, that's why. Yeah, he don't want to just be chit-chatting on the phone type stuff. So again, that's how his brain works. We don't have, I mean, I can only think just maybe because of Korn, right? I mean, when he was younger, we did see him looking at like an explicit magazine. So I'm just only thinking maybe just, because Korn can change the chemistry of a brain too, right? So I'm literally just thinking maybe that's why he thinks the way he thinks when it comes to women and just being intimate, whatever. But I don't think she thought that was going to happen. When I say she's being confusing, it's just because when he was like, what do you want? And she talking about, I just wanted to be friends like how we used to be. Girl, you did not want to be no friends with him. You just wasn't expecting him to force himself on you like anybody would. Like, why would you do that, bro? But you didn't think he was just going to get straight to the point. I think Takumi thought that, she want me. Okay, let me just give it to her. Give it to her. And what she really wants is passion and love. Like, that's what she wants. But she don't understand that Takumi don't got that for her. Not in that way. So you was never going to get that. So he thought he could just pull his pants down and solve it that way. No, Rayra is in love with you. She wants more. He said it himself. He said the one who I truly care about is Nanake. Right? But we see how he shows that. You feel me? So it's really not, I mean, she's not really on the pedestal. You feel me? Not that high. Okay? And it also depends on what metrics are you using to show how much he cares. Are you using the metrics of like, does he cheat on her? If he cheats on her, then he don't care. Okay, if you're using that metric, he don't give a damn about her. But if you're using the metric of, hey, does he provide for her? Does he make sure she's okay when she's feeling sick? That kind of thing. I mean, he don't do much else. Then, okay, yes, then he does care for her, right? So it just really depends on what metrics you're using to measure that. But, yeah. So when she was like, I just want us to be friends, Rayra. And I'm like, girl, you didn't want to be no motherfucking friend, but you wasn't trying to get R-worded. So I understand your frustration, but I can see how that can be... it could be confusing for Takumi, especially because he's not emotional, right? So with Rayra and Nana K, they're very emotional. They act on their emotions, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do so. I feel like they both did need to use more logic though, because they both make dumb decisions, and they are both selfish. And they can be immature, both of them, Rayra and Nanake. Whereas Takumi, he's only logic. He really doesn't act on stuff on a whim, like I said, unless he starts to feel like his control or his position is threatened in any type of way, like with a sexual competitor, like with Nana O and Nana K, right? That's when he starts to do stuff, right? But also Rayra and Nana K, they feel like their existence is like, they wrap their existence like around a man, and they both do that. Like Nana K, with the exception of Nana O, her revolving her life around her and her happiness, but even before Nana O, always revolving her life around a man, always. Like she just couldn't just live for herself. And we don't even get backstory on Nana K to why she act the way she act. other than the fact that she was groomed. So I feel like that was really the main thing, because it seemed like she grew up with a nice, happy family. I mean, every family got its ups and downs, but it didn't really come from her childhood life so far. What we've seen that's in the manga, I think it mainly came from her getting groomed as a child. But Rhaira, same thing. Whereas it doesn't matter who she messed with, like with Sheen, this, that, and the third. She should have left him alone because he didn't need that heartbreak. But anyway, she's always going to want to be with Takumi, and she understands that he measures her worth from her singing. And that's why she puts so much pressure on herself with singing, because it's like, if I can't sing, what am I worth to him? He wouldn't even need to be in my life in the way he is if I don't sing. Me singing literally is the reason why he's always here. And if I don't sing anymore, I'm kind of worthless to him, and he won't have a reason to be around me, you know? So, yeah, I'm like, ugh. So again, they be throwing that self-respect out the window, honey, and that self-worth out the window when it comes to these men. Yeah, they're very much alike. And Nana O so full of shit. She is. Because when Nana K was like, maybe I should live here again. I don't know. And then Nana O talking about, then do it. Like, why don't you? Talking about, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you and your baby. I'll make some money. I was like, girl, you're full of shit. Because when it actually came down to it, what did you do? You ran away. You ran away just like your mom. Like, Nana O talk a good game, honey. But she cannot be trusted unless, like, you're fully hers and you allow yourself to be, like, controlled and possessed and by her. No. As soon as the going gets tough, where's she going? She's leaving. It just is what it is. And it's sad because even if she may not want to, she may not want to. Throughout this manga, we were seeing, especially in the beginning, her trying to fight these feelings of like, why can't I be there for Nanake? I'm really trying to just be a good friend and be there for Nanake. It's because you love that girl. That's why. And you can't take it. You love her. That is not your friend. That's not only your friend. That's what we'll say. Because you can be friends with your lovers. Or you can be friends with your crushes and people that you're in love with. But you're not just a friend. That's why it's hard for you to be there for her. You can't. So I was just like, girl, shut the hell up. Stop telling her and feeding her false dreams, okay? Just to get her, like, hopes up. Because you won't. All that stuff talking about, I'm going to get you a big house. I'm going to take care of you, Hachi. Oh, girl, go to hell. But speaking of running when stuff get hot in the kitchen, honey, Nana O's mama. Like, my heart did go out to Nana O when she was just like, when we found out, like, the mom was just literally like, I gave her up for that man. Like, I chose to be with that man. I gave up my daughter. And she was just like, I just couldn't sacrifice myself for my daughter. It just is what it is. And it's really sad, because that's, like, the sad truth of a lot of people's, like, family situations. Like, they just like, you know what? I'd rather be with my man. Y'all can have this. I don't, who this for? Because, like, I'm not trying to. And that's crazy. And me being a new mom, I'm like, that's actually wild. I understand everybody be in different predicaments, this, that, and the third. But I thought it was going to be like we didn't have the funds. I want her to have a better life, this, that, and the third. But for her to just leave her to go be with this man is crazy. And then for her to have a daughter that ended up looking just like her. Just like Nana, honey. And then for her to just live life out with these two other kids and you just being a mama to them is crazy to me. That's actually insane. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm kind of glad they made it realistic like that, of like, no, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. I ain't shit, and I wasn't shit. And she's still not shit, right? Because she left her current family. As soon as the paparazzi started coming around and the truth came out, left a note saying, I'm so sorry, and just left. Excuse me? You ain't learned nothing? We didn't learn nothing out of all these years? You didn't grow nothing out of all these fucking years? Oh my God. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she ain't shit for real. And then can we talk about why the hell Masato, which is Nana's half sister, look just like her, honey, look just like her. But Masato talking about she in love with her brother. Oh God. I was like, here we go. Here we go. Okay? Like, what do you mean you're in love with your brother? Like, what do you mean? Don't piss me off right now. For real. Don't do that. Anyway, honey. It's funny because it would have been weird either way if she would have been like, oh, I'm in love with Nana. Because she was cosplaying as Nana this whole time. Little did she know that was her damn sister. But I would have been like, that would have been weird too. But at least she wouldn't have known that was her sister. But it would have been weird if she knew. And then she still was like, oh, I like Nana. But for her to be like, I'm in love with my brother is crazy. Like, why did they throw that in there? Why was that? And the fact that the manga didn't even finish. So it's like, we don't even... That just got thrown in there. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, this is just going to be there. Why? Why? For real. I need an ending. I need an ending. Like, she could just do an interview. If she's well enough, she could just do an interview and just tell us what the hell's going on. Just write down what happens. Don't even write it. Just say it. You know, like if you're well enough to speak. I don't even know if she is. I hope she is. Prayers out to her. But if the author is well enough to speak, I would just take that. You don't even got to write nothing. There ain't got to be no ink press, no nothing. No page printed, no nothing. I just want to know what the hell is going on. For real. That's all I want to know. There's just too many loose ends for me. But yeah, this whole little Masato, the brother thing, I was just like, why was that just a random Easter egg up in there? Like, what the hell? Also, I think it was crazy that Noble, he is spiritually in tune, honey, because every time somebody passes away, he hears something. Same thing happened when Nana O's grandmother passed away, and he was at the school, and it was as if the door opened or something like that, and he really thought somebody was there. Same thing when Rin, okay, it was like he heard, I think it was the guitar, and he was just like, what the heck? Like, clear as day. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so freaking crazy. Like, that was crazy, bro. Damn. Yeah, it's just too many loose ends, honey. And real quick, let's circle back to Takumi and Reira getting together. Because my thing is, if he sees Reira as like a sister, right? He sees her as something pure that needs to be protected, right? Like she's like his little angel, something that, you know, he doesn't want to violate. You know, this is a long time ago. This is like in his backstory where he was like, I don't ever want to violate her. He even had thought of it when he was younger, like, you know, in her in a sexual way. He was just like, no, like that's too weird. But years later, getting with her to kind of like shut her up. It was just, it reminded me of like, okay, shut up, damn. Like, just get back to business. If I do this, will you get back to business? Will you start singing and get your mind right? And it just, first of all, him saying, would you really stoop to being just one of my ladies on the side? I feel like even him using that rhetoric of being like, you really gonna stoop down to this? Because I feel like he does put her on on a pedestal in the fact of like, in the sense of like, she's like an angel that needs to be protected. She's pure. She's this, she's that, right? And then he's like, you really gonna stoop down to being a side piece? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I guess. But it was really weird because I'm just like, okay, talk to me. What is going on with you to where you would even do all that? You feel me? Like, I get it, though. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to still look out for Trap Nest. Like, he's still trying to look out for Trap Nest. He's still trying to be like, okay, maybe if I, you know, get her stable, then maybe she'll get back to singing and she won't be acting like this. But I'm talking about, like, mentally, what did that do for you to violate? And I'm going to say violate because y'all didn't just consensually do all of that, right? And I'm not talking about just the kissing and stuff. I'm talking about what happened next, because afterward she was saying you worded her, and we know how Takumi gets down, right? Especially when Takumi gets frustrated, when he's frustrated, he's not thinking straight, he feels like he's losing control, he can't get her to do what he wants her to do no more because she's refusing, right? She's refusing to sing, she's refusing to just follow orders, and just everything needs to go smooth. Her and Ren are just doing what they want to do. He's getting frustrated, and we know how Takumi gets when he's frustrated. He can be very scary. It's not justified at all, but it's just like that's how he is. You do not want to get involved with this dude for real in that way. But she don't know that. She ain't never saw that side of him, right? But I'm like, talk to me, what did that do to you for you to not only like violate her, not only violate another woman, but you're violating somebody who you view as your sister. And again, for her to say that you are worded her, it had to have been something similar to what Nana K went through with you. To where at some point she probably was saying stop or no or wait. Because again, in his backstory, again, when we saw him doing stuff in high school or middle school with this girl, she was talking about wait. And he was like, no, we ain't doing no wait. I know you want this. And he just kept going. So it's just like, ew, bro. And how traumatizing that had to be for her. For her knight in shining armor to do that to her. Like, I could only imagine. Like, she's just, child. And it ain't no going back after that. You feel me? It ain't no going back. Like, you could tell he was disheveled too after that. Because he thought that was going to fix things. And it actually just made things worse. So, yeah. I really do want to see, like, how things happened after that. After even Rin. You know, like, how did people's relationships, you know?